Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. A prominent and vocal senior counsel in Trinidad and Tobago vouches for the integrity of the current Attorney General. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Thursday, 16th June 2022. Details when we return.
Hubbard's Multi-Department Mount Gay and Hubbard's Tire Bay, located at the Building Supplies Compound in Grand Anse, are reminding the motoring public that another round for licensing and inspection has begun. Just arrived on new shipments of quality furrowed and torque tires to fit all makes and models of vehicles at competitive pricing. Shop early to avoid the hassle of long lines. WhatsApp them on 473-405-5482. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
Welcome back. Senior Counsel Israel Khan says calls for the removal of Trinidad and Tobago's Attorney General at this time are premature. It's reported that the petition has been drafted by some lawyers to persuade members of the Law Association to discuss a vote of no confidence against Mr. Amor. There have been robust calls from the opposition for the AG to resign or be removed from his post following his involvement in a lawsuit in a U.S. court in relation to the Piarco Airport corruption case. TV6's Nicole M. Romani reports.
Opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissassa and members of her party are among those calling for the head of Attorney General Reginald Amor. But today, Senior Counsel Israel Khan tells TV6 the court must decide as due process must prevail.
What the politicians and others are saying here, look, you committed perjury. You deliberately lied when you said you were a junior counsel, you were a senior counsel. You were deliberately misleading us when you said that you just take notes. He took notes and he made submissions and so on. That is a judgment call. They'll have to examine exactly what he did, but it doesn't matter what he did. He ought to be removed. And if the Court of Appeal in England, in the United States said he ought to be removed, then it's a different kettle of fish. The Attorney General will have to decide whether he's going to stay in office or whether he's going to resign.
On Monday, the opposition leader and her party cited their lack of confidence in the Attorney General and staged a walkout of the Parliament as he was about to speak. In response, Mr. Khan, SC, says that they were only performing their duty.
Their duty is to damage the government. Their duty is to belittle the government. Their duty is to undermine the government legitimately. And this is an instance where they say they are doing their duty. And I support them, they are doing their duty. But the lawyers in the country and the senior counsel in the country, who are the leaders of the profession, will have to allow due process to take place and then make a judgment on it. But in the final analysis, if people are not too concerned, it will blow away.
He says he believes the matter will be decided on tribal loyalties by some, as the lawyers on the east-west corridor and those south of the Caroni Bridge will not see eye to eye. However, Mr. Khan describes Mr. Amor as a man of impeccable integrity and says if the court rules against the AG, he is certain Mr. Amor will step down. Nicole M. Romani, TV6 News.
The Telecommunications Services of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, TSTT, says it has come to an agreement with the Communications Workers Union, CWU, that will see the telecommunications company continue with its restructuring exercise without delay. Details in this TTT News report.
The Telecommunications Services of Trinidad and Tobago Limited says it has come to an agreement with the Communication Workers Union that will see the telecommunications company continue with its restructuring exercise without delay. In a media release, the company says under the terms of the agreement, TSTT will reissue the notices of retrenchment to the 376 unionized workers on May 31st, but with the last date of employment being July 15th, 2022, instead of June 1st, 2022. TSTT previously used the June 1st date because the company's collective agreement allowed for separated employees to leave immediately and receive payment in lieu of the statutory 45 days notice. On May 31st, TSTT issued notices of retrenchment to 403 of its unionized employees, advising them that their services were surplus to the needs of the restructured organization. Retrenchment notices were also issued to 65 of TSTT's management staff.
Meanwhile, Secretary General of the Communication Workers Union, Clyde Elder, says there is no agreement or acceptance by the union of the retrenchment of 376 of its members by TSTT. At a media conference at the CWU's headquarters on Henry Street on Tuesday afternoon, Mr. Elder said the union was successful and victorious in getting the 45 days notice consent order.
The Communication Workers Union has not agreed to any retrenchment of anybody in TSTT. The consent order that was entered into was an order simply to say TSTT will give 45 days notice in accordance with the law to the members of the bargaining unit. That is all. That is all. And we have gotten that 45 days. And in securing those 45 days,
Mr. Elder said in accordance with Section 8 of the Retrenchment and Severance Benefits Act, the CWU has sent an objection letter to TSCT and the Ministry of Labour outlining 10 grounds on which the union rejects and disagrees with any retrenchment of members of the bargaining unit.
In other news, retrenchment notices have been issued to employees from the manufacturing division at Unilever Caribbean Limited. In a statement, the company said this will take effect on July 31st, 2022. After Unilever sold its spread business in 2018, UCL, as part of its restructuring exercise, entered into a 4-year supply agreement with a third party. It said now that the agreement has expired, the company has no option but to let go the employees of the manufacturing division. Before instituting this retrenchment exercise, UCL said it engaged in extensive consultations with the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, the recognized majority union for workers employed by the company.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
This year marks 41 years of advancing regional integration in the Eastern Caribbean region through the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. The Commission is hosting a series of activities in commemoration of the milestone. Jason Darius of the DBS News World reports.
The 41st anniversary of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States gives an opportunity to all citizens of the OECS to acknowledge some of the key achievements made towards one main objective: forging one community, growing together for improved lives and a better future. Major milestones were achieved in 41 years of regional integration in the Eastern Caribbean in multiple areas, including education, health, social development, free movement of people and goods, trade, environmental sustainability, and cooperation, among others. A series of events have been implemented as part of the celebration of the 41st anniversary of the OECS. One such activity was the Thanksgiving church service held at the St. Benedict Catholic Church at Mount Fortune, Castries.
We are celebrating the 41st anniversary of the existence of the organization as a regional institution. And we are celebrating under the theme Building Resilience, overcoming challenges in the face of resilience and sustainability. There are a week of activities that we are undertaking. Today we have commenced with the church service, and we had, I think, a very inspirational sermon by Pastor Paul. He spoke about, essentially, the role the organization plays in the hearts of the ordinary citizen of the region, and the need for us at the Commission, us the officials and also the heads and all other important stakeholders, are having a heart and feeling the need to ensure that the ordinary person in the streets of the region can identify with the work that we do and can benefit from that work, and their lives can be changed in a positive way.
General Counsel for the OECS Commission, Dwight Lee, reveals that the Commission has done much work in its 41 years of service. However, modern-day challenges still exist.
As small island developing states, we are not the ones contributing to that problem in any significant way, but we are the most impacted. And it's, in the foreseeable future, is going to be a big challenge for us. The recent events with COVID poses another dimension to these challenges. and also what's happening in the world with Ukraine and Russia. So all these geopolitical issues, all these health issues are definitely going to create some serious challenges for us moving forward. But what we have learned from COVID is that we have the capacity and the ability to overcome these challenges. It's a matter of us pulling our resources together, collaborating with our partners, international partners, to find suitable ways of overcoming these challenges.
The Commission has also outlined several activities to commemorate its 41st anniversary.
We are going to have a OACS Colors Day, and that takes place on the 17th of this month, which is, I think, on Friday. And we are encouraging all schools, all institutions throughout the OACS to celebrate the OACS Colors Day with us. The colors are well documented on our website, and for those people who are not very familiar with it, can also always visit the website and get a sense of what these colors are. Green is very predominant in these colors. We also have a flag raising ceremony on the 18th, which is Saturday, and that will take place at the Commission. Internally, we will have an appreciation week for our staff, which will happen next week. And that will, in essence, I think, deal with our celebrations for the week.
The OACS Commission encourages the public to celebrate with the organization as it strives to put its best foot forward for the challenges ahead. For the DBS News World, I am Jason Darius.
No confirmed cases of the monkeypox reported in the Caribbean region. However, the spread to the region is likely as travel returns to pre-COVID-19 pandemic levels. Tamika Rodney of HGP Nightly News reports.
It is therefore important that CARFA member states raise awareness in frontline health workers and be on the alert for possible importation of cases so they can initiate a quick public health response, says Dr. Joy St. John, Executive Director of the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARFA. Monkeypox is not a novel new virus, with the first case having been identified in 1970. It is a rare viral zoonotic infection transmitted from animals to humans that usually does not spread easily among people. This virus is closely related to the virus that causes smallpox, and vaccination against smallpox has been shown to be protective against monkeypox. The disease spreads through close contact and is less clinically severe and infectious than smallpox. However, the current outbreak of monkeypox is of concern in that it is occurring in non-endemic countries. CARFA has signed an agreement with the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, to refer suspected samples from the member states for testing, while they are in the process of procuring the necessary reagents to be able to implement testing for monkeypox. Results may be received between 10 to 14 days after the arrival of samples at CARFA once referred to the CDC. In the interim, a commercial kit is in transit, and once received, it will be verified for immediate use. If member states have suspected cases, they should contact CARFA for information on sending suspect samples. Dr. Lisa Indar, Director of Disease Surveillance Prevention and Control, urges member states to remain vigilant for the imputation of viral or other infections and to monitor in-country syndromic surveillance systems for increases in fever and rash illnesses. Additionally, member states should enhance surveillance and case investigation for monkeypox, alert port health officials to be vigilant for possible cases entering the country, and develop and disseminate public education materials on monkeypox as a re-emerging zoonosis.
Tamika Rodney again tells us that Saturday last saw the alleged ambush of Venezuela's opposition leader Juan Guaido.
Venezuelan opposition leader Juan Guaido said he was ambushed by members of Venezuela's governing Socialist Party on Saturday, the Venezuelan National Assembly said in a statement. Guaido's parallel government accused the governing United Socialist Party of Venezuela of the attack, saying members hit and insulted Guaido. A photo posted by a Venezuelan politician showed Guaido being held back as people gathered around him, with someone tearing at Guaido's shirt.
Hubbard's Multi-Department Mount Gay and Hubbard's Tire Bay, located at the Building Supplies compound in Grand Anse, are reminding the motoring public that another round for licensing and inspection has begun. Just arrived on new shipments of quality furrowed and torque tires to fit all makes and models of vehicles at competitive pricing. Shop early to avoid the hassle of long lines. WhatsApp them on 473-405-5482. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.